But this is a titanium tier match between Ślimo and Arborelia. Immediately has some sunglasses, so good early damage up for both racers. 2 damage sunglasses is pretty scary, as you have to do quite a bit of thinking to determine who you are fighting. But nonetheless, these 2 racers should be pretty comfortable taking sunglasses. And a quick reset from Arborelia. Not gonna be too bad. As Ślimo is still on zone 1. Hopping off to a Blood Broadsword, a pretty good take with the sunglasses. 2 damage Blood Broadsword early on, along with a bit of armor to go with it as well. Solid pickup. Arborelia taking a hit. Won't be able to just buy out the 2 items that Ślimo has anymore. And is going for a kill, which will be unsuccessful. Another early reset for Arborelia. Ślimo having a bit of space to work with after 2 early resets. And there's Peace, a Peace Shrine for Ślimo. Could be worth tapping, or finding a bomb even. But good handling of these enemies for Ślimo, not gonna take any hits from that ghost. Utilizing the broadsword's broad swordness in order to hit both enemies at the same time. And Ślimo moves on to Core Rift 1. Arborelia finally leaving 1-1. Bit slow after those early resets. Ślimo having space to work with, but definitely not a lot. These early resets, these early leads that you give to your opponent can just snowball as they have time to find better items. But generally, when playing from behind, Ślimo just needs to decide what to do here. All 3 are good takes. Except maybe not the boss shrine, as they don't have a bomb, but I think I would take darkness as well. Ślimo just needs to make sure not to pick up a torch once more. Could use that battle shovel there. Actually, that's a shrine. I thought that was a crate. Never mind. Don't want to be tapping that. I believe that's a risk. And Ślimo, a free shot for Ślimo. Some floaty boots Ślimo will pass up on. But no ring swap quite yet. Charm of Gluttony, definitely pretty nice. And that is a 3 damage broadsword for Ślimo. Good take. Good thing to have, good thing to take. As Ślimo expands this lead to about 1 zone. Putting up some good pace. Arborelia needs to do something in order to catch up. A purple check for Ślimo will yield an Earthquake Skull. Definitely not what they want right now. But this mapping and darkness will pretty significantly help Ślimo here. Arborelia, meanwhile, checking purple for a freeze spell, so that definitely is something that can be used to catch up. A solid take. As Ślimo picks up a torch! Stop picking up torch, please! I don't get it. It's not that hard. If you see a torch, don't pick it up. This is the 3rd, I think 4th time, at least 3rd, maybe 4th time Ślimo has picked up torch with darkness. Like, just because you don't have a torch, an item in the torch slot yet, doesn't mean you should pick it up. And... Ślimo, why? I don't understand. Looks like quartz armor for Ślimo here. He'll pass up on it, but... I don't understand! This isn't the first time! It's far from the first time at this point! Why do you keep picking up torch with darkness? I'm just frustrated at this point. I'm not even like, oh, that has to be a mistake, oh. Maybe next time they won't, because at this point, what are they doing? Picking up torch pretty much every single time they pick up darkness. That's not an item you want with darkness. It's gonna let your opponent, assuming they don't pick up the torch as well, help catch up. And you have a whip for arborelia. We'll choose to leave that behind, as shield tomes for Ślimo will keep the earthquake scroll. But nonetheless, that torch won't come into play until Ślimo's off this ring. Ślimo is looking to be off this ring though, but I just don't pick up the torch in the first place, then you won't even need to worry about it. It's not that hard. If you see a torch, don't touch it. And a ring swap for Ślimo. This is a darkness conjure. Definitely can opt to do spend some time conjuring things up here. But I will leave a chance for arborelia to catch up. Spiked ears for Ślimo. Looking like leather armor. Prodigy? Quartz armor. Looks like this Guega suit is not here, actually. So, spending time trying to conjure up armor, not getting anything out of it, and is now on torch. As arborelia on the run back! Taking a huge hit from the Grey Goblin. Those things hit ridiculously hard. Leaving a lot of space for Ślimo here. Lots of time to build something up. If this is a Darkness Conjure floor, it's worth going back for some kind of regen or something. But this is a good ring to have. Got some additional goo boots and a rat for Ślimo. Ślimo leaving the rat behind. Taking a pixie heal, but taking a harpy hit as well. For Ślimo. And the spider will guard the way to the entrance to the shop. I'm already happy with what they have. There is a ring of regeneration here. Definitely wants a piece of that. And Ślimo needs to remember that they have swapped off a piercing. No longer has the piercing effect, but looks like to be handling it perfectly fine. More pixie heals for Ślimo. As Ślimo moves on to death metal. A pretty fast pace with their opponent dead. Definitely doesn't need to continue going at this speed, but is looking pretty good in terms of build safety with that regen now. Darkness will definitely help as well, but why pick up the torch? I don't understand. It's kind of dumb to pick up a torch. You're gonna tap darkness just to pick up torch afterwards. It's not the end of the world if you pick up a torch though, it's just that, like, darkness is really strong, all you have to do is do not pick up any torches. Which is much easier than, say, like, you know, finding Becoming and Transmute. Very strong. Wonder is very strong, but you gotta have, like, everything. But for this, all you need to do is if you see a torch, don't touch it. But we have a Pulse Spell for Ślimo. Definitely a good pickup. See that Ślimo aggroing more enemies because of that torch. No, you would have been able to, if you wanted to scoot past these enemies, you would have been able to if you just didn't pick up that torch. But Earthquake Skull and 2 Dead Ringer should be very easy. Can quake open the doors, but doesn't do the cool thing. That's what all the cool people do, is quake open the doors. But onto the Necrodancer fight for Ślimo with full health. Has to do butt puzzles, only having 2 bombs. Ring of Regeneration was well worth it to spend 1 bomb on, though. Well worth it. And on to phase 2 of the Necrodancer fight. For Ślimo. Sunglasses can make this a bit scary, but for the most part should be perfectly fine. There is a dragon. Ślimo wants to deal with that before continuing on, and they will do that. And that is the last hit of the Necrodancer. Ślimo taking this first race from Arborelia with a race from time of 12:06. Definitely not the fastest, but the slow play did come in at the end. So still, a pretty decent time, even accounting for slow play. Accounted for slow play, I mean. Overall, let's look at these two's match histories. But overall, some pretty solid play on both ends. Arborelia just getting left behind though. Arborelia with a average win of 15:28 and a fastest of 11:13, with Ślimo with an average of 10:57 and a fastest of 8:33. 17:19 for Ślimo and 3:6 for Arborelia. Nonetheless, we are off on our second race. Doesn't seem to have anything notable happen on 1-1. Both racers will just go to the exit. And base longsword pickup for Ślimo. Definitely not a bad pickup, but not a good one either. It's an okay. Of course, depending on what the first boss is, can be more or less okay. There is magic cheese inside of this crate, which is a free 2 full heart containers for both racers. Will allow them to be pretty liberal with their spending in the blood shop. Both of them will pick up a torch and a glass longsword. Bit of extra mapping provided by that torch will be great to have. As both racers moving on to King Konga 1. Ślimo will check the shop here actually. A pretty decently good shop. Swapping off to glass storage, that is an interesting take, but it's on a glass field right now, so who knows? The mapping that this glass torch can provide can pay off pretty substantially. And in black, there will be an obsidian longsword for Arborelia. Ślimo will very likely take that as well. Bit of the wrong way here for Arborelia, finding a bomb for their efforts. And looks like this urn will be cracked open simply using the stars for Arborelia. Pretty good use of items. There are a lot of spike traps to the left. Ślimo will do the same thing, and we get the super rare crystal shovel. We rarely see that ever when playing Necrodancer, unless of course you're playing Dove, but on Cadence. Definitely a rare pickup. But given how good it is, it's not the best item to find, despite being so extremely rare. And a leprechaun kill for Arborelia. This Minotaur looks like it's a bit stuck. Ring of War in the shop. Ślimo will want to take a peek inside and take that as well. Builds diverge at the moment, pretty much only in the form of the glass torch that Ślimo has, which will be destroyed. So Ślimo running torchless. Finding a map, Arborelia finding it as well. There's a tier 1 cracked wall that might be worthwhile to check. Ślimo will take a bit of extra time in the start to check it. And will get rewarded with Move Dig. A quick shovel transmute will be extremely worth it for Ślimo here. Arborelia finding Courage. Courage Longsword is definitely one of the more comfortable weapons to run Courage with. And comfortableness often leads to speed. Of course, if you're just comfortable with one of the combos of Move Attack and Courage, then being comfortable with that will allow you to just run away with things. But this Move Dig seems to have already paid off for Ślimo. Arborelia going down to 2 hearts, but has a ham to heal it back up. This Move Dig for Ślimo, great fireball to preemptively take out the Clapbush. Ślimo taking the lead. As I said, this Move Dig, it's putting in an insane amount of work for Ślimo. Arborelia has Move Attack in the form of Courage, but this Move Dig has already saved so much time, and Ślimo dropping a beat off Fortissimo will not be able to get the chests. But just continuing on might just be the option here. And a bit of a use out of Last Helm for invulnerability against Bomber Goblins. That's one thing that you often forget. People often forget to use Last Helm fours to just base tank Bomber Goblins because they cannot hurt you with Last Helm. Ślimo needs to watch out for the spider here. Just letting the spider come and take a nibble out of Ślimo. But we are about on the same floor. Boss trying to take for Arborelia. We'll get Earth and a damage up, so that's a great pickup for Arborelia to go with this Ring of Courage. Ślimo is a bit in a traffic jam situation here. It's a pretty claustrophobic path to the exit on 4-2. Needs to be cautious! Needs to be cautious here. Ślimo going down to 2 hearts. We have Up Shop Bro, an interesting choice. Goof Boots as well. But needs to be careful, wanting to fireball the Blade Master, not to accidentally fireball Freddy. Nonetheless, moving on. Arborelia taking a big hit as well. Could be worth just to claim the Need Potion by Blood Magicking soon. That was a good time with that carrot. When you see food on the ground and you have a need, it's a good time to get your Need Potion out, but Arborelia finding a more comfortable path towards the exit. Not needing to deal with the claustrophobic room, but taking lots of hits nonetheless. doesn't seem to be the most comfortable with Courage. Courage is a hard ring to run, but if you can run it, it's going to pay off an extreme amount. And Ślimo checking red for Rat Familiar as Arborelia goes down. I think accidentally fireballing Freddy here. That was that was something I said to be careful of for Ślimo. Did not expect Arborelia to end up in that situation as well. But some big digs for Ślimo in Quartz Armor. If had any kind of regen, that Quartz Armor is a take for me. But that is a food shot for Ślimo too. As Blast Helm, can bomb on the right side if wants the Gluttony, but seems to be happy without Gluttony. Unnecessary Gluttony, but definitely might as well take it. Oh, chicken as well. So Gluttony would be fine for 1 heart at the moment. Nonetheless, can get the same value out of the chicken if Ślimo just waited until they got hit, unless it was a massive hit, then they might just be dead, but with this many hearts in Shot Bro, actually with Shot Bro it's possible that Quartz might still be worth it, but Chainmail probably still is the way to go. Yeah, Freeze Spell for Ślimo here, along with the damage, another damage up. That will be a 3-5 Obsidian Longsword. Risk Charm? A Frost Charm, I mean, for Ślimo, which will be used immediately. Need to be careful about the freeze wearing off. All these enemies are gonna become active at the same time. But a good handling of that for Ślimo. And moving on to Dead Ringer, it will be right side spawn, so Ślimo will opt for fast left. Which will go perfectly fine. Won't get the heal up shot, bro. I don't agree with that. It's just half a heart, but still. Sometimes half a heart can mean the difference between living and dying, but anywho, on to phase 2 of the Necrodance already. Very fast first phase with that Blast Helm and enough bombs, and a good freeze to protect Dorian. Ślimo is pulling out the tactics that they need to pull out in order to win here. Correct ones. Maybe not fast left, but easy left side suits is easy. As the name implies, so it's not too much of a worry. I'm a supporter of lures. You can't. If you're trying to do lures fast, you're doing something wrong, I think. But shame to see Arborelia go down to accidentally aggroing Freddy. But for this third race, we will see how these races fare. See if Arborelia can find a footing in this set. We are off on our third and final siege. There's an immediate shot to the left. Could be worth taking a peek what's inside that shop, but likely isn't. Both these racers will pass up on it. Still, could be a worthwhile peek. Nonetheless, even better, there's just a free shield spell lying on the way towards the exit. And Slimo finding the blood shop. This is an interesting throw here, because we'll just be for the blood drum. Needing to buy the titanium rapier anyways. I'm pretty sure I had enough time to walk around and pick up the dagger to be able to get this rapier for free, so a bit of a misplay, but Arborelia seems to have had reset. Slimo resets as well after a death. So deaths on both ends. Or resets on both ends, I mean. Not sure what happened to Arborelia here. But Arborelia's throw will go perfectly fine. Snag up that titanium rapier for free. Ślimo doing the same thing. Slimo's on low health. I believe taking a hit. Didn't buy anything out of the shop. So hopefully that low health isn't a huge disadvantage continuing on, but Arborelia can manage to just run away with it, because Ślimo needs to play carefully. If there isn't any kind of food or regeneration, having this bit of extra health will allow for a bit of speed, just having it in the back pocket. Hey, Arborelia missing the blood drum. See, burning a bit of health to try to exchange that for speed. Respectable as well. That's another way you can get extra speed out of health, is with the blood drum, as Arborelia finds the food shop into one. Might want to save this gluttony, but actually we'll just gluttony the chicken for 1 heart. Not a bad choice either. There is a potion as well, so maybe the option would have been to save. Try to find another way to get health up, and then gluttonying the chicken, but that, of course, is in hindsight. Arborelia does not know the future. A bit more aggression out of this. Ślimo trying to use an armadillo to crack open tier 3 walls. Armadillos are not strong enough. Ślimo might benefit from just opening the food shop using a blood drum, even though it will quaff their potion, because their potion will be quaffed anyways. This is a mistake. Leaving such a good food shop behind when you have the chance to take it might even be more valuable than just finding a potion. So Arborelia has the advantage in build here, and also the lead. As Ślimo finds big digs, that definitely is something very helpful to have. But very straightforward fight here for Arborelia. He's going to attack the king, won't get the lunge, so will not be able to take out Deep Blue's in 1 hit. I believe that Deep Blue's taken a lot longer than she wanted. As Ślimo shielding and then just doing rapier strats will allow Ślimo to save quite a bit of time. The bomb cell for Arborelia has been putting in some work, and will continue to, as there is Ring of Regeneration here. Interesting take for Ślimo here, Ring of Gold. Don't really agree with picking that up. But Ślimo without Bomb Spell, not able to get this regen. May have been seed variants. I don't exactly recall where the bomb cell came from for arborelia. But this bomb cell is definitely putting in work. Seed has a notable drought of bombs. Big Digs for Slimo will put in work as well. Though it isn't regen. And regen with shield spell is very, very strong. An Obsidian Bow for Arborelia. We'll check the shop for a viable Squega suit. And also a viable Battle Shovel as well, so spending a bit of extra time here. Not sure if she can afford that, but it does have Ring of Regen to try to make up the difference. Ślimo is not running the safest build. Picks up pace though. Definitely a competitive ring now. So really, just continually going back and forth. This is an interesting kill for Ślimo, I would say. Looks like just bombing for the map, but Glass Armor will definitely help as well. Knowing that they have enough damage to... and Shield Spell as well, so the kill is a lot more understandable when you look at those items. So still in the lead now. Arborelia definitely has a chance to catch up. And rely on Ślimo's mapping too, but with this Squega suit and regen. Spending a bit of time on this boss ride. I'm not sure why she didn't just bomb right away. Maybe thinking about, yeah, it's probably the grenade charm. Thinking about how bomb cell would work with grenade charm. And we have a rifle for Ślimo. Ślimo. About half a floor ahead. 75% of a floor, even. Definitely has the chance to maintain this lead. The pressure is on Arborelia right now. A Telemonkey for Ślimo won't set him back too far. But Arborelia is trailing very closely behind. A bit of a tricky goose situation for Arborelia. The spider being a sentinel as well. Hey, narrowly avoiding a Ogre Club for Arborelia. Definitely kind of scary dodging parallelly to an Ogre's attack as Ślimo kills the Shopkeeper for Heavy Plate. Great pickup, doesn't really have the health to use it, or the potion either. But Ślimo will be shortly down to Core Rift. Arborelia following shortly behind. Great bomb, needs to deal with the sarcophagus though. And Arborelia is taking a few hits. I would say just blood shield. Oh, doesn't have the regen anymore. Interesting swap off. I would keep regen. You can save so much time. So much time with regen and mana shield. And not mana shield, blood shield. And some more checking of chests. Not sure if Arborelia has the time to do that. Ślimo has a blast helm and enough bombs. Yeah, actually needs to find something in order to compete with that. Bomb charm might work with one additional bomb, but pretty much just wants blast helm now, I think. Nonetheless, that bomb spell will help. It definitely needs one more bomb. Don't have to do butt puzzles, which will put them pretty far behind given Ślimo's blast helm bombs. Don't understand why Ślimo decided to kill that electric zombie there. That electric zombie was not doing anything. We have left side sponge, Ślimo doing Oblivion strat. You're too fast if you just go up right away. You need to go left first. I would just say let Dead Ringer bounce off your shield here. And then reroute Dead Ringer into the bell as Arborelia makes her way down to Dead Ringer as well. Let's see if this Dead Ringer goes more smoothly. We have Japanese strats. Cannot afford to use bombs. But we'll use one anyways. And tanking a huge hit, needs to blood magic bomb this. Has a decent amount of health with that potion to do so, but Ślimo has the Necrodancer free already, so has her work cut out for her. And we have a shield bug for Arborelia. 2 hits left for Ślimo. 4 hits left for Arborelia. I mean 5. And still 5. Arborelia having a bit of trouble with this fight as Ślimo cleans it up with the race room time of 10:48. Close race. I say not keeping regen with the shield. Could have cost Arborelia the race. Or maintaining a competitive edge in this race at least. But anywho. Ślimo will take this 3-0.